In Mississippi and all surrounding areas, you've tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. We made it. We made it through the winter of death and illness that Joe Biden told us we weren't going to make it through. We are now firmly into the death grip of a Mississippi summer. But look, it's nice outside, so we'll see how it goes. I kind of like the winter of death and illness. All right, man. Hey, let's just jump in. I promised the lady that called in the other day that I would start the shows with an update on Jackson water as long as we were still under, well, not we, because I had enough sense to get out. While y'all were still under a boil water notice. And I'm kidding there. I got a lot of family still in Jackson. Anyway, Jackson is under an indefinite boil water notice. They have no clue when the water is going to be fixed. So let's just start there. If you are waiting for the Lumumba, for the Free to Land administration to let you know when the water is going to be fixed, you are going to be waiting a while. I was watching the city of Jackson's water press conference yesterday because I hate my life and apparently I had nothing else to do. 30 minutes I will never get back. It was so bad. I made a YouTube video of me watching the press conference, critiquing it. That's how bad it was. Can we say this too? Let's understand, you don't drink the water in Jackson. Let's just start there. But I want to say this. If you're going to be hired to work in the city, for the city, in this administration, I feel that it is imperative that you at least know that Kroger is not plural. Kroger does not have an S on the end of it. It is not Kroger's. I'm not going to try to dig it up here. You can go find it. Kingfish has the whole thing, and you can go to the Save Jackson YouTube channel. And I did a reaction video to it. It's in there too, but the video's there. One of the ladies was talking about places they had teamed up with to give out water, and she said Kroger's. Why is it Kroger's? Can we please teach people English in schools? Why is it always in these Democrat school districts, these kids come out of there not speaking the same language that the rest of America speaks? It just don't make no sense to me. Kroger. You ride by any of them. There's not an S on the end. We're not talking about let's go to the two different Krogers. There's two different Krogers in Jackson. I'm just making it up an example here. I know there's two in Madison, one on each side of the interstate. Let's just go to the two different Krogers in Madison and see if we can get the good deal. That is the proper way to use it, plural. Not let's go to the Krogers and get some meat. I want to thank Kroger's for giving out water. You can say I want to thank the different Kroger stores. So you still wouldn't use it as anyway. I'm not one to give anybody any advice on proper punctuation and stuff of that nature, but I know how to talk. I can see a word and pronounce it. It's Kroger. Anyway, good morning. The Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line is 601-879-0002. Not the Mac Hikes of Flowwood. It's just Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line. 601-879-0002. The Guns in Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Fun story about Guns in Gear real quick. I tried to go by there the other day. Well, I didn't try to. I didn't finally make it by there. I was going to just dip in, say hey to Hunter and the team, and he wasn't there. But as I was walking in, I noticed a sign on the door that said, pull your pants up to come inside. Man, they were talking to my inner conservative. I loved it. It's like, pull your pants up if you're going to come in here. The only people whose pants could sag are 3-year-olds or something like that, babies. Anyway, I got a kick out of it because that's an issue. It is. There's a reason the sign's up. It is an issue. All right, man, we've got a call from one of my favorite people on the Matt Kike of Flowwood phone line. We've got Derek. Derek on a Friday. What's going on, brother?
Hey, good morning, Clays. See, I had the S on it.
Derek's, how you doing?
Hey, man, I'm good. No, I have to agree with you on the language thing, man. It's just like when you see these guys, these inner city guys getting these scholarships, to go play football somewhere or basketball, whatever. They sounded like they've never even been to school at all, like they only got a fifth grade reading level. And the parents sitting there clapping for this stuff. Well, usually the parent, but you get the idea.
I know, man. These are educated people for the most part. And why are there two different languages? And this ain't pick on black folk time here, but it's why do we accept ebonics as openly as we do from people? We all learn the same English language.
Well, Clay, in my household, my father didn't tolerate the precursor to ebonics, which was slang language. He didn't tolerate it. We get spanked for that. When the word mug was popular in the 80s, he would ask us, "Oh, mug, what are you trying to say? Is that a word for MF? Is that what you're trying to say?" And we get tore out the frame for that, for not speaking correctly. So if anybody that knows me knows the reason why I speak the way I do, that's why.
I mean, look, I speak a little slang for fun here and there, but real conversation is supposed to be like exactly what we're having right now. I mean, if you'll ever read some of the comments under some of the Save Jackson posts from the local Democrat coalition that hates me so much, I almost need a decoder ring to understand what some of these people. It's one thing to say it wrong. It's another thing when you intentionally spell it the way you say it.
Yes.
For words that you've made up.
You've had conversations with me in person. You know how I tend to, actually pronounce my words and roll it and say the whole thing. My children, my older children, when they would come home, when my ex was in the military, the other kids were like, "Why do you guys talk like that?" They're like, "Talk like what?" Well, it's called English. You get what I'm saying? But I called to say, man, Brittney Griner is guilty. You can't go into another man's country thinking you could keep up your woke culture. I'm gonna get high and do what I will spirit, and you wasn't gonna get dealt with. So there's snowflakes and the liberals are crying right now, but she pled guilty because she knows she was guilty, and everything would have came out. It wouldn't have looked pretty, and I wouldn't.
Hey, I was going to say, and Donald Trump would have already had her out because Donald Trump loves black people.
Yeah, and then get this now, they're sitting there pining for the LGBTQ basketball player, but yet you got two people who shouldn't have went over there, mind you, that's in custody of the Russian military, and you got that one guy that's been there for 3 years. He ain't blinked an eye for them, right? But yet he's trying to save the pot-smoking lesbian. Well, the abusive pot smoker. That's another thing, Clay. Why isn't the media talking about domestic violence being on the rise between lesbian couples?
I know you don't like calling them this, but them studs love to whoop up on each other. Ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah, so-called studs or whatever. If you look at the statistics, domestic violence is on the rise with them, but the media is not reporting it. Just like with the last two shooters, they were LGBTQ.
Yep.
So,
I got a texter that texts in here every time I talk about the Uvalde shooter being LGBTQ or trans or whatever letter of the alphabet boys he is. He's like, "You cannot prove it. You can't prove that." Well, you can't prove he's not. I've seen pictures of him dressed up as a girl. Clearly, there's something wrong. And allegedly, he had a gay benefactor that paid for all those guns.
Yeah, well, again, LGBTQ, gender dysphoria, whatever you want to call it, is born out of sexual childhood victimization. Like Dr. Umar Johnson says, it's easier for a person to say that I was born a certain way than dealing with the pain that actually triggers it. So, they could put that, they could take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, Brittney Griner, enjoy your cold Russian prisons. Also, when the Supreme Court was handing us things we supposed to abide by, we was told to be quiet and take it. But now that the Supreme Court is starting to do the right thing, now we got to pass executive orders, and everything is such a travesty. But yeah, conservatives were expected to just take it.
Yep. The Supreme Court is extremist when they don't get their way. But when they get their way, we're told, "Shut up, bigots. Shut up."
Yep.
Take it.
Yep.
All right, brother. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right. Peace. All right, man, let's take one more call here on the Mac Hike and Flowwood phone line before we go to break. Hey, caller, you on there?
Hey, Kay, how you doing?
Hey, brother, how's it going?
I'm doing fine. Hey, I just want to say, why every time somebody get caught, y'all want to label them as woke and stuff like that? Y'all starting to give people who's trying to make a difference as woke people a bad name. So what's wrong with people waking up to seeing what's the real going on in the country and trying to make a change about it? So y'all make it like that people who is woke are waking up to what's going on, like that's a bad thing, but yet y'all still complaining about Cassidy getting whooped, and every time one of y'all counties lose, y'all want to go vote Democrat because one of y'all favorite boys lost, like Ken Wade. But y'all want to talk about people who waking up to police brutality and stuff like that as being woke. What's the problem with people waking up and speaking the truth about police brutality?
The police are not brutal people. They are out there doing God's work. If folks would just obey and do as they're told, we wouldn't have these problems.
They're putting handcuffs on a dead body. You can justify that.
That body shouldn't have been moving.
So what?
That body should have obeyed. Shouldn't have been moving. Police do God's work. I ain't gonna have that argument on the Clay Edwards Show. Thank you, Chris. I mean, look, I'll argue with a cop once in a blue moon, but actually, I won't anymore. See, that's the difference. Like, me and somebody were talking about this the other day. I told you about that little incident I had at the Circle K out there in Brandon with one of the Brandon city cops. And, you know, I kind of feel like I got punked. But I kept my mouth shut and went on and was fine with the rest of my day. That could have escalated because I could have been like, what you say? I'll park wherever I want. You can't tell me not to park on property. I mean, I could have gone that whole South Jackson idiot spiel, but I didn't. I kept my mouth shut. Went on about my business. Did I like it? Did I think you were in the right? No, I didn't. But you know what? You live to fight another day. Get pulled over. Shut your mouth. Obey. You know you did something wrong. Hell, I was illegally parked. I knew it, but I was on private property. It is what it is. You know you're messing up. Don't mess up. Stupid games, stupid prizes. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show.
America, you love your country, so it goes without saying that you also love your ride. And Auto Armor in Flowwood wants to help you make that ride shine. Auto Armor in Flowwood is Central Mississippi's premier automotive detail and ceramic coating shop, servicing any type of vehicle, including ATVs, boats, and more. Need just a quick detail or paint correction? Auto Armor can make it happen. But if you're set to hit the road in a blaze of glory while flying the old red, white, and blue, Auto Armor should be your first and last call to give your ride a full ceramic coating. Auto Armor is locally owned and operated by the loud and proud American patriot Clay Edwards. Auto Armor also proudly backs the blue, all military and first responders. So don't forget to ask for your discount. Call 601-260-0858. 601-260-0858. Or stop in today, fellow Americans. Auto Armor is located at 4394 Mangum Drive in Flowwood. Online at AutoArmorMS.com. Auto Armor, unapologetically American.
Breaking rules when necessary. That's what we do around here. All right, man. Look, hey, if you're looking for something to eat tonight, may I implore you to go check out the Raymond Farmers Market. Of course, it's in Raymond, right there on Hines Boulevard at 205 Hines Boulevard. You can find them on Facebook. Just go type in Raymond Farmers Market or RaymondFarmersMarket.com. Tonight is catfish night. It's locally sourced right out there in Yazoo City at Simmons Farms. Good, crispy, fried catfish. Their sides are amazing. Their French fries are handmade. You know what I mean? They're actually real potatoes that they run through the potato cutter. Yum, yum. Can't beat those. I'll tell you what, as an old restaurant guy, you making fresh French fries, nothing will wear that grease out quicker than fresh French fries. All that water in them. Anyway, get out to Raymond Farmers Market tonight. If catfish isn't your thing, you want to wait. You're like, Clay, what if I want a steak? Well, good news. Wait till tomorrow night. Tomorrow is steak night at Raymond Farmers Market. You get the 10-ounce filet, the 16-ounce ribeye, or the big enough to feed 3-pound tomahawk ribeye. It's so big it comes out on a butcher block. Come on down, young son. Give it to me. Can we do a food challenge out there? That'd be fun. All right, anyway. Raymond Farmers Market. That's what's for dinner. They're open for lunch today too. I believe it's catfish for lunch also. If not, it's the menu, regular menu items. Need to confirm that. But give them a call. They'll confirm it for you. All right. Derek kind of stole my thunder a little bit talking about Brittney Griner. I had that on my notes here. I'm just curious. What do you guys think? Should we be bargaining for her release? She goes over there. She's pled guilty. I mean, anybody that says, the whole, I didn't know I couldn't do that, or I didn't know I had it, or whatever the case may be, she pled guilty for, I believe it was possession and smuggling. So, I don't, look, man, you go over to another country, you respect their laws. Period. These rich, spoiled, entitled, woke BLMers and athletes here in America think because they've gotten their way the last couple of years here and they've been put up on some imaginary pedestal that they can carry that other places. You found out the hard way. America is the land of the free and the home of the brave, even though you may not be one of the brave ones. There is a rumor going around that this is from the attorney for an incarcerated Russian arms dealer, Victor Bout, reportedly says Griner could be released in exchange for Bout's imprisonment in Russia. So I guess we have him. They're going to swap a dangerous arms dealer for a black lesbian basketball player. So we need more of those. My goodness. Let's fast forward a little bit. You know when this happens, I don't know, Joe Biden hates black people, so it may not happen, but she is gay. So he has a lot of the black gays as people in his administration. Jean-Pierre Paul, whatever her name is. Let's fast forward. So she comes back. She instantly becomes the Muhammad Ali of the WNBA. I mean, the modern day LeBron James of the WNBA. I mean, she becomes their most recognizable feature attraction if she comes back and plays basketball for about 3 games, and then people lose interest and go on to the next thing they're told to be agitated about. She's gonna come back. They're gonna build a statue. You know it. They're gonna build a statue of her somewhere. They're gonna name a school after her. I remember when she went to Baylor. She was the most electric female college basketball player of the time. Wokeism and just a little bit of money absolutely destroys people. Speaking of woke, we got a text on the Guns and Gear text line. Josh asked if Chris is the spawn of Snowball. And I like Chris, but sometimes he calls in on like today's show, and I have to wonder, is he Thomas's son or is he Snowball's son? Because, man, it's just aggressive wokeness. Aggressive wokeness. All right. Let's see here, man. Let's check the Guns and Gear text line. And you can text in at 769-241-1944. Let's see. All right, another one from Josh. Brittney will be locked up abroad for a few years. I think so. I think you're looking at probably a 10-year sentence, and we will negotiate to send her home at some point. Trump will have to come in. When the adults get back in the White House, Trump will have to get her home, and she'll have to thank Trump. Because Biden will say, we can't negotiate with Putin right now. This is Putin's price hike. This is Putin's black lesbian prisoner. Everything's Putin. Putin, rootin', tootin', Putin. Oh, man, I tell you what. Let's see. Let me pull up my other app here. Somebody said on the text line, said there is no R in mangum either. I'm not sure what that was about. All right, the Mac Hike and Flowwood phone line, 601-879-0002. I've been wanting to talk about this for a couple of days. Just a quick little blurb here because I have followed these things for a long time. The Georgia Guidestones. got blowed up. If they can say Kroger's, I can say blowed. The Georgia Guidestones got blowed up, and they ended up having to completely destroy them. And if you're not familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, some New World Order stuff. One world government, depopulation, all that. There's plenty of pictures of them and descriptions of what they had on them. There's a pretty interesting story. A mysterious millionaire shows up in town and starts a trust fund basically to build these things and pay for them and all that stuff. So they build them, and there was a money put in place to maintain them and all that. Well, somebody blowed them up, and this rumor has it that it was Ted Turner. Now, that's allegedly, but this is Georgia, white millionaire, kind of old country boy. Ted Turner makes the most sense, and then he marries Hanoi Jane. So, all right, man, we got a call on the Matt Kike of Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Hey, Clay, this is Jason. I'm driving in on the trace. Listen, I'm going to tell you, back in the 80s and early 90s, I was in the Navy. I was in Naval Special Warfare, Special Boat Units. And we were told constantly, because we were in countries all around the world, and they would tell you, and this is State Department people, you screw up, you are on your own. Now, we were military that were protecting this country. Now, I'm sorry that, some idiot chick decided to have a little bit of lack of self-discipline, and this, that, and the other. But my take on it is I hope she rots in jail. I could care less. So, that's really all I got to say. You shouldn't have done it. Now, you did the crime, you're going to do the time. And I'm sorry that you're over there in Russia. This ain't the United States, but you hated this country so bad, you hated the flag. Hey, we all had to do it. So I really just have no problem with her sitting there a little butt in jail.
Yeah, me either, man. No sympathy for the devil. Yeah, we were both talking at the same time there. Yeah, just no sympathy for the devil. I don't wish that upon anybody. But you got yourself into it. You want to be a man. Pull your big boy. Put your big boy shorts on, and enjoy your vacation. Because you know who ain't vacationing in Russia? You know who ain't going to play basketball in Russia? Clay. Clay ain't gonna mess up. And if I ever do go to Russia, I ain't messing up. I ain't messing up in Russia or anywhere else. But see, I'm an America first guy. There's a lot of America I haven't seen yet. So I got a lot of Americaning to do before you ever catch me in Russia. And seeing what's going on in Canada, man, unless I can roll with some of those truckers, I ain't got no interest in seeing Canada either. All right, man, we got another call on the Matt Kike of Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Hey, one thing real quick. As far as I understand, the laws in Russia, and as far as like what she did, first off, when she says, I don't care. But anyway, on a few day jail time, like she shouldn't have been in jail this long. She's been in jail for months. So I think there's something else going on there. But two, what's going on in I think it's Finland, and I think it's even started up in Germany with all these farmers.
Oh yeah, the Dutch farmers and all that. I'm telling you, we need to be paying attention.
Deal. That's a big deal. And it's come here.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I'm gonna tell you what. I was looking at the Jackson water stuff, and just the fact that there's no drinking water in Jackson. And I meant to say this and kind of got distracted earlier in the first segment. Everybody around here needs to be paying attention. Whether you living in Brandon, Pearl, Madison, Clinton, Flora, wherever. What's going on in Jackson with no drinking water? When the poop hits the fan, it's coming our way. And then the people in Jackson who have nothing for themselves are going to come and try to get ours.
Well, they don't have a choice. It's self-defense. It's whatever you want to call it. They don't want to die. They got to have water. They're going to go get water. They're going to go get food. They're going to do what they have to do to survive. A survival instinct. So don't think because your subdivision's got a pretty little gate, you're good. We got to fix what's going on for everybody, or everybody is screwed.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, and to your point about them having to do what they need to survive, I don't even blame them. We all would.
God gave it to them. There's a survival instinct.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Don't think your pretty little gate's going to do anything just because you live on a big old body of water and you're like, I'll go catch all the fish I want to. Okay. But it's
It's not going to work that way.
No. Unfortunately, it didn't. Hey, brother, I appreciate it, man. Great call.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, look, man, I'm telling you, when it collapses, you have, let's just say 300,000 people in Jackson for the sake of arguing. When it collapses, don't think for 1 second the majority of those ill-prepared individuals aren't coming for what's mine and what's yours and what's everybody else's. I know we got some callers on hold on the Matt Kike and Flowwood phone line. I got to take a break, and I'll come straight back to you as soon as we get back from the break. You're listening to The Clay Edwards Show on 103.9 WYAB. Breaking rules when necessary. Hey, look, if the weather breaks the rules and messes up your roof, give my people over at Complete Exteriors Roofing and Gutters a call and let them get you taken care of. Complete Exteriors Roofing and Gutters in Pearl wants to help you determine who to use when you're seeking a roof repair or work on your gutters. You need to choose a qualified, certified company that has a local brick and mortar building and a company that has been in business for longer than 2 years and also offers a warranty. Complete Exteriors, they got a 4.9 Google review and have been in business for over 16 years. Complete Exteriors Roofing and Gutters can provide you with a professional and honest look at your roof and gutters. And hey, look, man, side note here, ask them about their new solar roof shingles. These things are wildly cool and efficient. And I think you'll be very interested in it. When I had Mr. Boyd here, the owner of Complete Exteriors, he was telling me all about them. And I didn't ever think I'd get fired up talking about roofing shingles, but I was fired up learning about solar roofing shingles. So give them a call and see if maybe that is a good fit for you long term, maybe save you some money. And they're extremely durable. You can beat them with a hammer and they won't break. So that's pretty cool. I wish I could be beat with a hammer and not break. That'd be cool. Like Iron Man, Iron Clay. Anyway, check them out online, CompleteExteriorsMS.com. And call them back again on the Matt Kike of Flowwood phone line. We've got Derek. Derek, what did we say to ring your bell again, brother?
Clay, about, when times get desperate in Jackson, they're going to start invading the communities and things like that. Hey, look, they're already doing that in Ridgeland. I mean, they're doubling up, sometimes three families to an apartment just to afford the rent. But listen, that's not what I called about. Are you familiar with the movie A Bug's Life on Disney Pixar's A Bug's Life?
I've never watched it, but I've seen I know it exists.
The original premise was based off of an African proverb storytelling called The Ant and the Grasshopper, where the ant pushed and he pulled and got all his food stored up for the winter, and the grasshopper died. It's a real famous African tale, But I called to say this: for all their provocations, Lumumba and Judge Shamsuddin and all these people that like to be so Afrocentric, somehow they forgot about that proverb about if you don't prepare, you don't make it. It's just that simple. Okay? Now, I hate innocent citizens are getting caught in the crossfire, but listen, Ben Franklin best said it. He that trades liberty for safety deserves neither. So, silence is a form of consent. You're not getting what you need because you have not spoken up, and you keep putting failures back in office. I had to go off on Shamsuddin the other night talking about, the white council, they didn't put them as president. Okay, you guys have been in charge for 30 years, and you've done nothing. I said, Shamsuddin, you've made questionable decisions on the bench. He ain't had nothing to say after that. So people start voting these people out.
Amen.
That's all I had to say.
Appreciate it, brother. Hey, I had a thought during the break, and I've loosely talked about this some, and thank you, Derek, for calling in. Last night, I went with two buddies of mine, Chris and Mason. We just went, we had a little men's, just boys' supper. Went and ate dinner out there in Brandon. And I got to thinking, and Mason had to leave a little early, and Chris and I were just talking, and kind of had this idea. Would you guys be interested in maybe once a week is too much. We're all too busy. Maybe once a month, we all have a get together, like a fellowship. We'll grab dinner, break bread. Maybe you can get fancy enough to have a speaker here and there, but for the most part, just break bread, get to know each other, learn who owns what businesses or what you do for a living, just a networking dinner and fellowship. I'm seriously thinking about putting something together, and we can get out and support some of these restaurants that support us here at WYAB. And I think it's a win-win. I really do. I think I know enough people that I can get something together, and I'm extending an invitation to you all. If you're interested, if it's something that y'all might be interested in doing, shoot me a text at the Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Or if you know my phone number, text that. If you know, follow me on Facebook, whatever's easiest for you. Shoot me a text, say, hey, I'm in, and let's discuss and try to come up with something. In my mind, I'm thinking it works good on a Thursday night. There's no church. You're one day away from the weekend. And because people, I don't want to get into people's family time on Fridays and Saturdays and football and all that stuff. I think Thursday night is the night that it works. So if you're interested, let me know. I'd like to put something monthly together. I go to these monthly breakfast and monthly lunch, and I enjoy those things. I don't want to be that official, but maybe just somewhere we get together and break bread on the weekends. One Thursday a month or something. Anyway, just floating that out there. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, I want to get to this Emmett Till stuff, but we don't have enough time left because it's just going to be too much. But there's some interesting stuff there, but I may do a whole separate video about it and put it on the YouTube channel, or we'll talk about it Monday when we got 2 hours. Let's just do that. We'll talk about the Emmett Till stuff Monday. Let's talk about Tate Reeves. And I want to, before I do this, I want to say I've turned a corner on Tate some, because I have to understand and accept the fact that he's going to be our governor for 4 more years. I don't believe Philip Gunn is running. I could be wrong, but I don't believe Philip's running. I don't know who else is going to step up and run against him. This is just me. I have no inside information here. I think McDaniels is going to run for lieutenant governor, and he may not. I'm just shooting from the hip. I don't know who steps up and runs against Tate. And I hear there's somebody else may run for lieutenant governor, but I was asked not to talk about that yet, so I shouldn't even say nothing. Anyway, we're probably going to be stuck with Tate Reeves for 4 more years, so we might as well get used to it. However, he put out a tweet yesterday. Says, today we wake up in a state where church doors are open and the abortion clinics' doors are closed. All the glory to God the Father. Amen. Now, I 100% agree with this tweet. Amen. Church doors are open. Abortion clinic doors are closed. Or baby murdering. Let's get it right. Baby murdering house of horror doors are closed. But I'm old enough to remember when Tate closed down churches. When Tate trotted out that black pastor from Natchez or somewhere down that way into that COVID press conference that had refused to shut his churches down to convince other black pastors to shut down their churches. Was anybody else watching that day? I was watching that day. How long were our churches shut down? Almost a year. A full 6 months. I don't think you get to talk about giving all the glory to God and the churches being open and the abortion clinics being closed when you shut the churches down. I'm sorry. I didn't forget that. I'm not going to forget it. If anybody worth their weight runs against Tate, they'll get my vote. I just don't foresee that happening. So, again, Tate closed down churches. Now, if you want to say, okay, well, hey, Clay, man, we didn't know what was going on. It was early on. It was precautionary. Again, 2 weeks to flatten the curve has turned into 2 years to flatten the curve. You knew even just a couple months in, you knew, hey, look, this isn't what they said it is. If people want to go to church, they can go to church. I hate ripping the scab off every now and then. Scars that are getting close to healing. But I hadn't forgot about that. I won't ever forget about that. I remember I said something about that one time early on in this radio show, and somebody called in mad at me for even mentioning it. How dare you mention what Tate had to do? As if that was being a strong leader making tough decisions. The tough decision was for everybody that was deemed essential. They got up and went to work through all this stuff and had to deal with all the crazy people. Or the tough decision was the person who wasn't deemed essential and had to sit there and make life decisions at the gas pump. Do they get gas or do they buy food for their baby? Those are life decisions, and unfortunately we're having to make those now, some people. At $5 a gallon gas, I'm rounding up a little here, close to $5 a gallon gas depending on where you live. Those are tough life decisions. You shouldn't be having to make at the gas pumps. Some stand-up comedian said that years ago. You know, you're just sitting at the gas pump trying to decide if you're going to put gas in your car or feed your baby. You shouldn't have to be making tough life choices out like that. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I mean, especially if you're working. I don't even care if it's a minimum wage job. I'm going to get into the $15 an hour minimum wage crap. But if you're getting up and going to work every day, you shouldn't be having to make those kind of decisions. Anyway, little rant there. But I mean that, man. That just rubbed me the wrong way. Taking credit. I'm sitting here watching I got the Twitter pulled up. And people are retweeting it and commenting in live time as I see here. It's already been retweeted 905 times and commented 4,793. I believe that's what they call getting ratioed. I'm guessing other people haven't forgotten either. All right, man. On the Guns and Gear text line, this is like my restaurant. My dinner idea is going well. Casey says he's down. Derek says he's down. Not sure who some of these other people are. I don't have all these phone numbers saved, unfortunately. Now, hey, by the way, Chris has chimed back in on the text line after that. And he says, so if anyone has a different opinion about something that isn't what the right side is woke, but y'all play Tucker Carlson like it's gospel. I said, man, we all have our different opinions. I don't speak or think for the other hosts. He said, people calling me woke doesn't bother me because waked up to the fact that Democrats and Republicans are the same thing. I think we're using the word woke in a different sense, Chris. I really do. When we talk about woke, we're talking about these people who blame everything on race and white supremacy and all this other stuff and believe in the 1619 Project and believe in free the land and all that. That's woke to me. And well, we can all be awakened. Isn't that what Jameson says? Awakened, not woke. All right, we're going to take our last break of the day real quick. You listen to the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back on 103.9 WYAB. Breaking rules when necessary, man. Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show. We got about 3 or 4 minutes left here. Hey, next Saturday, get out to the Mississippi Carters Association's next race at Buddy Butts Park, Saturday, July 16th. Should be a good time. You know, plan accordingly. Probably going to be hot. Get you a tent. Get you a beverage cooler, a cooler full of beverages, and go out there and support the Mississippi Carters Association. And if you're out house hunting this weekend, holler at my girl, Miss Kimberly Harrelson over at Next Home Realty. Check her out online at KimberlySalesMS.com. If you're out car shopping, Mac Hike of Flowwood, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, huge used car selection as well. Check them out online, MacHikeCDJRF.com. And again, if you're looking for dinner tonight, Take a Break Deliveries. Download the app or just go to takeabreakdeliveries.com. Locally owned, locally operated, veteran owned, veteran operated. They deliver everything from beer to liquor to food, even some dry goods. They got it all. Go to takeabreakdeliveries.com. They wait on the food. The food doesn't wait on them. Best delivery service out there, hands down. All right, man. Kind of in closing here. Good show today. I think we had a great week of shows. We missed Monday for the 4th, but hey, good reason to miss a Monday. It's the 4th of July. There was a few things, again, the Tate Reeves stuff, man, that just grinded my gears when I saw that. But I 100% agree with the tweet. But the lack of self-awareness, you were the one that closed the churches. Anyway, that's the world we live in. The Georgia Guidestones got blowed up. the people that work for the city of Jackson still call it Kroger's. Kroger. It's not Kroger's. Fred texted into the Guns and Gear text line and said, your boy Kim Wade calls it Kroger's. Well, Kim Wade don't work for the city of Jackson. So Kim Wade can call it whatever he wants. I won't argue with Kim over that one. All right, man. Hey, look, I've been putting up a lot of content on YouTube, making some neat little videos, kind of doing reaction videos. Go like the Save Jackson, that Save JXN YouTube channel. Go subscribe, hit follow, whatever. Podcast will be available shortly. Jim Thorne next, followed by Mike Madison. I'll see you Monday. Stay safe.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week as the Clay Edwards Show discusses all that is going on in and around the city of Jackson.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Right here on 103.9 WYAB.